have you ever been in, say, a work meeting, or maybe even giving a presentation at university, and someone hit you with a really direct question? But here's the thing. You just can't give a straight answer. Maybe the info isn't confirmed, or it's sensitive, or honestly, you just don't have all the details yet. You want to sound professional, right? Knowledgeable, in control. But you also really don't want to overcommit or let something slip too soon. It feels a bit like walking a tightrope, doesn't it? You might stumble, say something awkward, or regret being too specific later on. It happens to everyone, and it could be, well, pretty tricky. Well, today we're diving deep into something called strategic vagueness. It's actually a really sophisticated communication skill. We're talking about being intentionally ambiguous, but not in a dishonest way. It's actually a crucial skill in business, negotiations, handling tricky info, or discussing sensitive stuff with, finesse. It's about being deliberately imprecise, but precisely so. So our mission today, we're going to equip you with 6 really sophisticated English expressions.
These will help you keep your cool, sound professional, appear totally in the know, even when you need to be, well, strategically vague. Think of it as a shortcut, maybe. A way to sound incredibly smart and strategic without getting yourself into hot water. Ready to unpack this? All right, let's jump right in with the first couple of expressions. These are ones you can probably start using, like tomorrow. The first one, a real classic, is we're exploring several options at this point.
Ah, yes, that's a great one. It works because it tells people, hey, we're working on this, without giving away any specifics. It signals that you're actively looking at different possibilities, different plans. So, for instance, if someone asks about, say, expanding the business, you could respond, we're exploring several options at this point regarding our expansion strategy, including both organic growth and potential acquisitions in key markets. See? Active, thorough, but no concrete details revealed.
Yeah, I like that. It sounds busy, like things are happening. The mental image I get is like walking down a hallway with loads of doors, and you're just peeking into each one slightly. You haven't decided which room to enter, but you're checking them all out.
Yeah.
Due diligence.
Exactly. Shows breadth of consideration.
Okay, moving to phrase number 2. This one's perfect for those moments when you absolutely cannot answer yet. It would be premature to comment on that specifically.
Yeah. This is very polite, but also quite firm. It's how you decline to answer when the information just isn't ready. Maybe it's not confirmed, maybe it's confidential. It basically sets a boundary based on timing. So a common scenario might be, it would be premature to comment on that specifically as we're still in the early stages of the negotiation process. We'll be able to share more details once we've reached a formal agreement. It neatly shifts the focus. It's not, I won't tell you. It's more like, it's not time yet.
Right. It's a classic for a reason. Gets you out of a tight spot without sounding dismissive. I kind of picture it like reaching for fruit on a tree that isn't ripe.
Yeah.
You'll pick it eventually when the time's right, but right now, it's just too soon. Acknowledges it, but defers.
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our third expression for this first block emphasizes that careful thinking is happening. We're taking a thoughtful approach too.
Yes, this one's excellent. It stresses that a careful, deliberate process is underway without you needing to list all the steps or decisions. It reassures people that things aren't being rushed. So you might say, we're taking a thoughtful approach to our pricing strategy revision, considering both market conditions and long-term customer relationships. It just sounds measured, considered, not hasty.
Oh, I can immediately see the value there. It implies depth, right? Foresight. My little memory trick for this one is picturing someone playing chess. Really focused. They're not just moving pieces randomly. They're thinking through every possibility. It shows that deep strategic thinking is happening, even if you don't reveal the next move. Diligence and depth.
Good analogy.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting because these phrases, they don't just work alone. You can kind of weave them together for even more control. Our fourth expression is, I can share that we're considering various factors, including...
This one is particularly useful. It lets you give away a little bit of information. So you seem transparent, you seem engaged, but you still keep the full picture ambiguous. Controlled disclosure, basically. So if someone's pressing you on a big decision, you could say something like, I can share that we're considering various factors, including market trends, competitive landscape, and internal capabilities as we develop our 3-year strategic plan. You're showing them part of your thinking process, but not the whole map.
I love that. It's like revealing and concealing all at once. The image that pops into my head is showing someone just a few pieces of a really big jigsaw puzzle. You give them a glimpse, enough to satisfy some curiosity, but the rest stays hidden. Selective transparency. Very useful.
Exactly. Purposeful.
All right, phrase number 5, another strategic gem. We anticipate making an announcement about that in due course.
Yes, this is a masterclass in managing expectations, really. It politely signals you do intend to release information, eventually, just not right now. It creates that future expectation without locking you into a specific date. A great example. We anticipate making an announcement about that in due course once all the necessary approvals have been secured and stakeholders have been properly informed. Promise of future news, but delayed.
So clever. It stops people asking when, exactly, when, all the time. My way to remember this is like marking a calendar, but instead of picking a date, you just jot down soon. You're promising it's coming, but you gracefully keep control of the timing. A nice professional delay tactic.
Keeps the ball in your court, yes.
And finally, our sixth expression. And this one might be the most versatile, especially for those really unexpected, tricky questions. That's an interesting question that touches on several aspects of our business.
Oh yeah, this is a superb way to handle things. You acknowledge the question, you validate it, but you don't answer it directly. Instead, you pivot. You shift the conversation to a broader topic, maybe something safer or something you can talk about. It's a springboard, for example. That's an interesting question that touches on several aspects of our business. While I can't go into specifics about our proprietary technology, I can tell you that innovation remains a core focus across all our product lines. You validate, you redirect, then you inform on your own terms.
That is masterful deflection, isn't it? My visual for this is like catching a really sharp question with a soft cushion. You acknowledge it, you absorb the impact, but then you gently guide things in a direction that works better for you. Keeps you in control of the narrative without seeming evasive.
Precisely. And, connecting this back to the bigger picture, understanding the sort of cultural context here really helps. In many professional settings, especially, say, Anglo-American business culture, this kind of strategic vagueness isn't seen as shady. It's often seen as quite sophisticated. It's like a form of diplomatic language. It allows for flexibility, avoids causing offense, maybe navigates tricky legal waters. You sometimes hear the term corporate speak, which when used well is about managing perception and ensuring consistent messaging. And non-committal language, absolutely crucial in negotiations, PR, sensitive HR stuff. It's about protecting options, avoiding promises you can't keep yet. Sometimes the goal is even plausible deniability, making sure unconfirmed info wasn't officially stated. It's quite different from cultures that might value extreme directness above all else. So knowing why and when to use these phrases is just as important as knowing the phrases themselves.
That's such a crucial point. It's not just what you say. It's also about the signal you're sending. Okay, so what does this mean for you listening right now? How do you actually apply this? Well, here's a simple principle I like to remember. Think VGE. It's an acronym. First, V, value the question. Always show you've heard it and acknowledge its worth. Then A, acknowledge without answering. Respond to the question itself, but not necessarily its specific content.
Right.
Then G, generalize your response. Keep it broad, high level. Avoid getting pinned down by details. Use broader context. Shift the focus. Talk about overall goals, industry trends, something bigger picture. And finally, E, emphasize process over specifics. Talk about how you're approaching things, the exploration, the thoughtful consideration, rather than the what.
And if I can just jump in with a really critical point here, it's vital. This is honest vagueness. The aim isn't to deceive or mislead, not at all. It's about politely deferring information that for valid reasons can't or shouldn't be shared right now, protecting sensitive info, maintaining flexibility. Your integrity has to remain intact.
Absolutely. Perfect clarification. Okay, let's make this practical. Let's see how you pick the right phrase for the job. Imagine you're in a meeting. Someone asked about a possible new direction for the company. You want to show a process is happening, but without committing. Which phrase feels right?
For that one, I'd definitely go with we're exploring several options at this point. It clearly says we're actively working on this without locking you into any single path. It highlights that proactive thinking.
Okay, good choice. What about if you're ambushed with a question about, say, merger rumors, and it's way too early to say anything publicly?
That calls for it would be premature to comment on that specifically. It puts up that polite boundary based on timing. Protects confidentiality perfectly.
Makes sense. And one more. You're asked about a launch date that's not set yet, but you want to reassure people news is coming.
That's where we anticipate making an announcement about that in due course comes in. Signals future news, manages expectations, but gives you that crucial breathing room. No fixed timeline commitment.
See, they really start to make sense when you think about the specific situation. Now, to really bring this home, let's run through a quick scenario. Imagine you're a company spokesperson, maybe doing a press interview, getting hit with tough questions. Listen to how these phrases flow together.
As reporter. Okay, so there are persistent rumors your company's planning a major tech acquisition. Can you confirm if you're in talks with, say, Comtep Inc.?
As company spokesperson. Well, we're exploring several options at this point to really accelerate our growth in the digital space. As you know, we're committed to expanding our tech capabilities, and we regularly evaluate opportunities that fit our long-term strategic vision.
As reporter. Right, but specifically about Comtech, your CEO was seen meeting their team last week. What can you tell us about that?
As company spokesperson, it would be premature to comment on that specifically. Our leadership often meets with various industry players. It's about discussing potential collaborations, sharing insights, staying informed on market developments. Standard practice, really.
As reporter, your competitors seem to be acquiring aggressively. Is your company feeling pressure to make a similar big move just to keep up?
As company spokesperson.
Yeah.
Look, we're taking a thoughtful approach to our overall growth strategy. While we're certainly aware of what's happening in the industry, our decisions are fundamentally driven by long-term value creation for our customers and shareholders, not by short-term competitive reactions.
As a reporter, can you at least hint at which areas of technology you're focused on strengthening?
As a company spokesperson, what I can share is that we're considering various factors, including emerging AI and machine learning tech, cloud infrastructure, and solutions that really enhance customer experience. These all align with the priorities we've already outlined publicly, for instance, in our annual report.
As reporter. So when can we expect an announcement about your next major strategic move? What's the timeline?
As company spokesperson, we anticipate making an announcement about that in due course. Right now, our main focus is ensuring any direction we take is thoroughly vetted, well-planned, and set up for success.
As reporter, some analysts are suggesting your company is falling behind on innovation. How do you respond to that kind of criticism?
As company spokesperson, that's an interesting question that touches on several aspects of our business. Innovation manifests in many ways. Some aren't always externally visible initially, but I can tell you our R&D investment is up over 30% this year. We're actually very excited about several projects currently in the pipeline, which we'll be sharing more about later this year.
As reporter. Okay, final question. Will the strategy involve significant job cuts or restructuring?
As company spokesperson, our people are absolutely our greatest asset. Any potential organizational changes would be approached with the utmost care and consideration. As I mentioned, we're taking a thoughtful approach to resource allocation to ensure we're structured for future growth. And as always, our employees would be the very first to know about any significant changes impacting them.
Wow. You can really hear it there, can't you?
Yeah.
The control, the professionalism, it keeps the conversation moving, shows respect, but gives nothing away prematurely. That's a seriously valuable skill.
Okay, let's do a super quick recap of these 6 powerhouse phrases we dug into today. 1, we're exploring several options at this point. Great for hinting at process without specifics. 2, it would be premature to comment on that specifically. Your go-to for deferring on unconfirmed stuff.
Yes.
3, we're taking a thoughtful approach to. Emphasizes careful strategy, not specific steps. 4, I can share that we're considering various factors, including, gives a little, keeps the rest vague.
Nice balance.
5, we anticipate making an announcement about that in due course. Signals future news, no date needed. And 6,
That's an interesting question that touches on several aspects of our business. The elegant redirect.
absolutely, these are indispensable tools, really. They let you control the narrative, protect information smartly, and project that essential air of professionalism and strategic thinking, even when you can't lay all your cards on the table. It's about being in command of the communication flow.
Couldn't agree more. So maybe the provocative thought for today is this. Sometimes the real art of communication is saying nothing definitively while appearing to say everything necessary. That's a skill that will serve you incredibly well wherever you work or study. Next time on the Deep Dive, we're shifting just slightly but sticking with crucial communication skills. We'll be exploring positive pushback, basically, how to say no effectively and professionally without burning bridges. Should be interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. Hey, if you've ever used a clever phrase for strategic vagueness, or if one of these we discussed today has saved you in a tight spot, share it. We always love hearing your experiences.
Definitely. Until then, keep practicing that strategic communication.
And stay curious.